What started as a heartbreaking moment on a rainy sidewalk to twins offering a necklace to a stranger turned into a miracle that would change their destiny forever. This story will leave you in tears and awe as fate connects the desperate with the powerful. Don't miss a second. Hit that subscribe button, like and share this emotional journey of kindness, courage, and transformation that proves one decision can change everything. Asterisk, it was a gloomy Wednesday afternoon when Nathaniel Hayes, the reclusive tech billionaire and CEO of a global software empire, stepped out of his chauffeur-driven car for an impromptu walk through the old district of the city, something he hadn't done in years, not since his wife passed away from cancer and left his heart numb and buried under spreadsheets and shareholder meetings. Dressed casually with no bodyguards or press, he wandered through the worn-out streets where childhood echoes still whispered in the rustling leaves, his mind consumed by the weight of a pending merger and the hollowness of a life too calculated. But it was the faint sound of a child's trembling voice that pierced his thoughts. "Please, sir, will you buy this necklace? It's our mom. She's really sick." Turning, he saw two small children standing beside a rundown bench outside an abandoned bookstore, identical twins. No older than 8, soaked in rain with their shoes barely holding together and cheeks red from the cold. One of them, the boy, held up a fragile silver necklace in his tiny hands, while the girl clung to a torn backpack and tried to shield the jewelry from the rain. Something in their eyes, desperation, raw innocence, and a haunting familiarity made Nathaniel stop. He crouched down and asked gently, "Why are you selling this?" The boy replied, "Our mom's in the hospital. We don't have any money for her medicine anymore. This was hers. It's her last good thing." Nathaniel, visibly shaken, took the necklace and held it between his fingers. It was cheap metal, not worth more than a few dollars, but it felt heavier than gold. Without saying much, he pulled out his wallet and handed them a wad of bills. But as he turned to leave, the girl whispered, "Will that be enough to save her?" That single question ripped through him harder than any boardroom betrayal or financial crisis. He turned back and knelt again. "What's your name?" he asked. "I'm Mia," she said. "And this is Max." "Take me to her," he said, quietly. What followed wasn't just an act of charity, was the unraveling of secrets, pain, and the chance to rewrite fate. The twins led Nathaniel through a labyrinth of alleyways to a small room above a closed bakery where their mother lay pale and unconscious on a mattress with cracked 4 tubes. An empty bottle of expired medicine by her side, and a note on the wall with names of people who refused to help. Nathaniel called his personal doctor immediately, had an ambulance arrive within minutes, and cleared a floor in the city's best hospital for her treatment. But the more he learned, the deeper he fell into the story. Layla had once worked as a junior software engineer for one of his early startup competitors. Brilliant, kind, and hardworking, but she had resigned when her twins were born and had fallen off the corporate radar. Digging further, Nathaniel uncovered that her husband had died in a factory explosion 2 years ago. She'd been working night shifts as a janitor while homeschooling the kids and fighting a rare autoimmune disease in silence that night. As the children slept in clean beds for the first time in months, Nathaniel sat alone staring at the same necklace, the only treasure she had left in. Something within him cracked wide open. He ordered his team to cancel all his meetings for the week. He stayed in the hospital day and night, waiting by Layla's bedside until she opened her eyes. When she finally did, her first words were not, "Where am I?" but "Are the kids safe?" And Nathaniel, stunned, could only nod. As Layla began her slow recovery, he moved the twins into a guest house on his estate, enrolled them in a private academy, and even started joining them for breakfast, something he hadn't done with anyone in years. But the story didn't stop there. One morning, Layla confessed a secret. She had once written a revolutionary codebase that could detect cyber threats using predictive behavior modeling. But she'd been too poor to patent it. Nathaniel had his top engineers review the sketches. She still had on paper, they were stunned. Her algorithm was a decade ahead of current tech. Instead of buying the rights, Nathaniel did something unimaginable. He offered her co-founding status in a new cybersecurity division under his company's umbrella, named L&M Shield, short for Layla and Max, because she said her kids were her greatest protection. The press exploded. Tech CEO partners with single mother who once lived above bakery, shares soared. But behind the headlines was a quietly blooming transformation. Nathaniel, once known for being cold and robotic, was now seen smiling, laughing, and even showing up at school recitals. He built a new wing in the hospital, named after Layla's late husband, funded by proceeds from L&M Shield. He also started a program to identify hidden talent among underprivileged women in STEM fields. Months passed, Layla fully recovered, and on the anniversary of the day he met the twins, Nathaniel called them all into his home theater. On the screen played a video footage of their journey, from the rainy sidewalk to their new life van, then to everyone's shock. Nathaniel knelt before the kids and asked, "Would you let me be a part of your family, not just the helper?" "But forever," the twins cried and hugged him. Layla, stunned, whispered, "Are you sure?" He nodded. "I didn't save you. You saved me." And just when it seemed like the story had ended, it took another turn at the launch event of L&M Shield. Layla took the stage and introduced Nathaniel not as her business partner, but as her fiancé. The crowd erupted. The necklace the twins once tried to sell was now framed in a glass case behind the company's mission statement, built on love, powered by purpose. The lives of 3 broken hearts had collided not by chance, but by fate, and in doing so, they had healed not only each other, but a world that needed their story. The children, once ready to give up their last piece of hope, now lived in a mansion filled with laughter, science experiments, bedtime stories, and parents who had rebuilt their dreams from the ashes. And all of it began with a silver necklace, a rainy street, and the courage to ask a stranger for help. Would you like a full SEO optimization package? Would YouTube tags and a viral title for this story to make it go viral?